2025 was a fantastic reading year. I've read so many amazing books across multiple genres, including fantasy, romance, poetry, thrillers, nonfiction, like everything. And looking over this list of five-star reads, I'm so amazed at how different these books are and how each of them evoked different feelings from me, but they're all still top tier reads in my book. Interestingly enough, the one thing that all of my five-star reads have in common is that they were written by Black authors. Completely unexpected, but are we surprised? Because I'm not. So in total, I've read 75 books last year, and out of those books, I have 10 five-star reads that I want to share with you guys. So let's get into it. Hi, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jaslyn and this is Jazzy's Land. So thank you for joining me today to talk about books. The first book, which is actually three books, is going to be the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn. So I actually reread Legendborn and Bloodmarked in anticipation for the Oathbound release. I loved rereading this series because it really deepened my understanding of the characters and the relationships that they had. And like when Oathbound came and I read it, it just simply blew my mind. I absolutely adored it. I'm super hyped for the next release and just 10 out of 10 series. I've spoken about Legendborn on my channel previously, so I'm not going to go into detail about what this book is about, but it has a secret society and really intricate magic systems and Arthurian lore if you're into that. Although it's not like, I know a lot of people, I feel like Arthurian lore kind of turns them off because they're like, who cares about Arthur? But it's just like, it's like you have to understand that it's Brie Matthews and it's her world and we're all just living in it. But yeah, Oathbound definitely, I mean, it brought in new POVs to the series. It revealed different perspectives that kind of opened up the story even more and but it's still, everything's still very much centered Brie, and this is very much Brie's story still, and I really, really appreciated that from Tracy Deonn. So just loved. The next five-star read that I want to talk about is A Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I think this book is just so relevant and so timely. It just really made me want to lock in because I feel like the main character in this book is like the epitome of lock in. And I know at times while reading this, this book can feel very heavy and devastating because of how similar it feels to our current state, and how it really just takes a look into our future and where we're going to end up if we continue on our current path. And it's completely insane that it was written in the 1980s, but I still left this story feeling inspired and determined to not allow myself to fall into a sense of complacency. And it truly rewired my brain a little bit. I'm a huge fan. The next book we have here is All the Blues in the Sky by Renee Watson. I actually picked this up from the Free Little Library in Houston. It's a YA novel that I simply bawled my eyes out through the entirety of this story. It's told in poems and it follows this young girl who's dealing with grief after the passing of her best friend, who I believe she actually died in a hit and run. So it was super unexpected and it tossed this young girl's life completely upside down. I'm a sucker for a story about grief. The number one way to get me to cry while reading a book is to tell it from the child's perspective and then let them explore grief, because there's a certain amount of innocence that comes with it that just breaks me every single time. And this, mwah, mwah, amazingly done, amazingly done. So y'all knew that a P. Djeli book was going to be on this list. If you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that they are a top author for me. A Master of Djinn follows a The Master of Djinn is a fantasy mystery that follows a supernatural investigator who must solve a murder of a secret society that was allegedly the work of the Master of Djinn. And the Master of Djinn has all these powers and is claiming to be back in Cairo to bring chaos and like free all the Djinn. And it's a super fun and interesting read. I love Djeli's characterizations because they're always like super funny and they have great personalities. And this book perfectly blends a historical Cairo with like this new and like very interesting magic system that leaves you craving more. And I'm pretty sure this is a series, and it is 100% added to the TBR. You heard? The next book on the list is Somadina by Akwaeke Emezi. Now, y'all also knew that Emezi was going to be on this list as well because I am a huge fan. I've spoken about this book on my channel previously. Another fantasy about a young girl who must go on a quest to rescue her twin brother while also trying to understand and conquer her newfound powers. This is a coming of age story that will have you rooting for Somadina the whole entire way. I love Emezi's writing style. They have a way of building these worlds that will drop you like basically right into the middle of them and have you feeling like you're really there and really experiencing what the character is experiencing. And that's what Somadina did for me. Absolutely loved. Obviously, it was a 5-star read. Next on the list is Between Friends and Lovers by Shirlene Obuobi. I actually have a reading vlog for this book. It's an absolute banger of a book. This follows Jo, who is a doctor slash influencer, as she basically has to choose between her childhood best friend, Ezra, who she's been in love with for years, or Mal, who is like this new and like up and coming sprouting love connection. I ate this book up, devoured it. It really had me going and like so engulfed into Jo's like relationships in life. I loved the tender moments that were shared, and I loved Mal bad. Like he was so down bad for Jo, and I will always respect that and eat it up every single time. It's like an amazing read, and not many romances make this list every year because one, I don't read a lot of romances, and rarely do I find them 5 stars. But this one, mwah, excellent work. Excellent work. The next book on this list is Black in Blues: How a Color Tells the Story of My People by Imani Perry. This book is a nonfiction, and it's definitely on my reread list because it was just so amazing. Imani Perry talks about how blues as a color, as a concept, as the music, all tell the story of Black people throughout history. It is so informative and so intriguing and really made me look at blue differently. I definitely want to reread this book just to like dive deeper into some of the works that she mentions in this book. And it's just something that it just kind of opened up my mind a bit when I read it the first time. And I want to kind of continue like scratching that itch and just really getting more in there. Our next read is Immortal Dark by Tigest Girma. There's a reading vlog on this one too. Immortal Dark is Black vampires. Like, I don't know what more I need to say other than Black vampires. It's angst, it's tension, it's enemies to lovers, kind of slightly, you know? It's written magnificently. Like, so many times I found myself like snapping while I was reading, like I was at like a poetry show or something, because that's what Tigist was writing. Poetry, like, mwah. I'm actually currently reading the next book in the series, and it's doing the same thing for me, and I really, really loved it. There's also a little bit of found family in this book that I absolutely love. I love that trope, and I think the author is really great at building relationships that feel real in their books. Like, even though these are like fantasy and like obviously they're not real because it's like there's a lot of crazy stuff, but it feels real. And Kidan, the main character in the book, is quite literally insane, and obviously I love that. Like, you guys know I will eat that up every single time. Next book on the list is Jackal by Erin E. Adams. This is a Black mystery horror thriller that legitimately creeped me out. So it follows Liz, who goes back to her hometown for her best friend's wedding when her friend's daughter goes missing in the woods under Liz's care. Like Liz was watching her and then she went missing. Like, see. So this then leads to the revelation that every year in the summer in this one town, a Black girl goes missing in the woods. And the thing that really stood out to me the most from this book was really the structure of it. The story was so well put together that every reveal just felt really satisfying. And this was just absolutely amazingly done and probably one of my favorite horrors I've ever read. Ever. Lastly, but definitely not leastly, we have Amari and the Despicable Wonders by B.B. Alston. This is the final book in its series. It's a trilogy. I read the last two books a while ago, so coming back to this series really felt like coming home. I think that Amari is like the perfect little character. You root for her, you cry with her, you celebrate her wins. Like, it just felt so nostalgic to pick this book up. All the characters felt like old friends, and reading it just genuinely put a smile on my face. Like, I will continue to recommend this to any young children or even adults who just want to get into fantasy, because it's very digestible. And this book was just like a lovely close to the series, and mwah, 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 loved it so much. So I think that basically concludes my all of the 5-star reads that I had in 2025. Great list. I mean, genuinely, I'm cheesing right now because I just reminiscing about all of those books just makes me so happy. Amazing reads. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about them. If they were one of your faves, let me know. If you know any books that are similar to these, also leave them down in the comments below. I would love to dive more into similar books like these, because these ones are the ones that did it for me, obviously, because they're 5 stars. So thank you so much for watching. Please share, comment, subscribe, because I'm going to be here with you guys all of 2026. And stay beautiful. Bye. Thanks for coming to Jazzy's Land. Don't forget to comment, and share.